Hey everyone, it's Steve here from theemotionmachine.com, and today I'm going to talk to you about why being ignored is often worse than receiving negative feedback. There was a study that came out this year in the Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin, and the study was called When Silence is Not Golden, Why Acknowledgement Matters Even When Being Excluded. And in this study, they looked at rejection or social exclusion in two different situations. One of them was a virtual ball throwing game where participants could throw the ball to different participants, and people would be excluded by not having the ball thrown to them virtually. And in the second situation, they looked at a fictional scenario where someone is searching for an apartment and they get rejected from the apartment application. So the study was looking at how different types of rejection affected people. And what the study discovered was that when people were ignored, when they weren't told that they were rejected or they weren't given an explanation as to why they were rejected, they often felt much, much worse than when they were actually told that they were being rejected or given an explanation for it. And I thought the study was pretty interesting, and it definitely resonates with some of my personal experiences. I think, when you're searching for a job, I think that we often appreciate it if they get back to us and they tell us you haven't been accepted for the job. Obviously, that's bad news, but it's better than not receiving any feedback whatsoever, and it kind of leaves you waiting, like, am I actually going to get this job? Have they already chosen someone else? Why didn't they accept me? And it leaves all these open-ended questions when you're just ignored. And it's the same thing with dating. When you go on a first date with someone, and then you ask them if they want to go on a second date with you, and they just ignore you, that can often be a lot more painful than when you actually receive an answer and the person just says, "Oh, I'm actually not interested, I wasn't feeling a connection, I'm not interested in a second date." So even when something is a negative response, we appreciate it more than just being ignored or being left in the dark. And I think one big reason for this is that when we are explicitly rejected, it gives us some form of closure. We hear that we didn't get accepted to a job. We say, okay, I gotta look for a new job. I gotta look for other job opportunities. Forget that one. Or when you get rejected from a date, you know that, okay, well, this person's not interested in me. I need to look for other people to date. But when you don't get a response back, you're left in the dark, and you're sort of wondering, does this person still want to date me, or is this job going to eventually reach out to me and get back to me? And it stays stuck in your mind because you don't have closure, you don't have an answer, and being ignored means that you don't get an answer from someone, and that leaves you wondering, if that's still an opportunity that's available to you or not. I think this applies even to just simple things like inviting a friend out over the weekend. Say you invite someone, hey, let's go to this bar with me, go to this restaurant with me, let's go to this music show, and they don't get back to you. You're sort of left wondering, is this person going to get back to me last minute? Should I still go to this thing? Should I find someone else to go with me? There's all these unanswered questions. But if someone just lets you know, hey, actually, I'm not going to be able to go out to the restaurant, or I'm not going to be able to go out to the bar or the music show, at least you have a clear answer, and you can move forward because you have a clear answer now. So being ignored often sucks a lot more than getting a negative response back. And this reminded me of that popular quote that the opposite of love isn't hate, the opposite of love is indifference. And I think that this study exemplifies this, the idea that being ignored can often hurt more because on a fundamental level, you're not being recognized. It's almost like you don't exist to this person, so they have no reason to actually give you an answer. And that can hurt more because you're not getting that feedback, you're not getting that attention or that acknowledgement, even if it happens to be negative attention or an answer that you don't want to hear. So I think one takeaway of this study is to be upfront with people. And often people fear giving a negative answer or saying no to someone, so they think it's better to just ignore, so they don't have to deal with the pain of rejecting someone. But this study shows that people actually do appreciate when you give them a solid no, or when you're actually upfront with them. So, if someone invites you to something and you don't think you can make it, don't ignore them. Just let them know. I'm not going to be able to make it this weekend. And maybe that's bad news for them, but at least you're being upfront. At least you're being honest. At least you're giving that person closure, and they're not left wondering, or they're not just stuck in the dark, wondering, what's up with you. So I just wanted to share that study with you guys today. I thought it was pretty interesting and definitely very relatable. So that's all I got for now, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Bye.